credit card bills. It used to be the most boring adult task ever, until one brand made it cool, funny, and addictive. CRED. This isn't just a story about an app. This is about how a fintech startup became a pop culture phenomenon, turned marketing into magic, and got millions hooked without giving them loans, discounts, or cashback. At least not in the way you expect. Let's rewind to 2017. Paying your credit card bill meant logging into ancient net banking portals, dealing with clunky design, zero incentives, and a total lack of personality. That is, until a man named Kunal Shah decided that something as mundane as a bill payment could be transformed into a moment of status, style, and satisfaction. Kunal Shah wasn't your typical entrepreneur. Born in Mumbai, Kunal grew up in a lower middle-class Gujarati family and was deeply influenced by his father's small business background. He pursued a philosophy degree at Wilson College, and even though he briefly enrolled at Narsi Manji Institute for an MBA, he dropped out. Unlike the typical IIT-IIM startup stories, Kunal's path was different. He wasn't driven by degrees. He was driven by curiosity. After dabbling in a few ventures, he co-founded FreeCharge in the year 2010, which offered users cashback for mobile recharges. That idea, rooted in user behavior, exploded. FreeCharge was eventually sold to Snapdeal for a reported $400 million. But the success didn't distract him. After FreeCharge, he took time off, and during that reflective period, he observed something that would become the core insight behind his next big bet. In a country obsessed with discounts and volume, nobody was building for the financially responsible, the people who paid bills on time, who had excellent credit scores, who were already behaving well, but getting zero recognition. Banks were too busy acquiring new customers. Fintechs were burning cash on sign-up offers. Nobody cared about the top 1% who didn't need incentives but deserved appreciation. And that's how the spark for CRED was born. It was not a mass product. It was a gated community, a private club that you had to earn your way into with a credit score above 750. CRED was built to reward good behavior, but more importantly, it was built to feel premium. Because for Kunal, trust was everything, and only those who had earned it would be allowed in. Most fintech apps looked like spreadsheets, function over form, but CRED? It was poetry. From the moment you signed up, everything was designed to make you feel like a connoisseur. The onboarding flow was seamless. The interface was minimalist and elegant. When you paid your credit card bill, you didn't just see a thank you message. You saw coins drop. You heard a satisfying chime. You were invited to unlock curated rewards. From luxury coffees to premium experiences. You weren't just a user, you were a member. But it wasn't enough to build a beautiful product. People needed to know about it. And in 2020, CRED launched a campaign during IPL that broke the internet. It featured Bappi, Lahiri, Anil Kapoor, and other iconic Bollywood actors in quirky, humorous scenarios that played with nostalgia and absurdity. These surreal audition tapes had these celebrities vying for a CRED ad spot, only to be hilariously rejected. The tagline was clear: not everyone gets it. The campaign went viral, not just because of its absurdity, but because it nailed the cultural tone of the moment. It was different. It sparked memes, and it made people curious. Then came 2021, and CRED decided to up the ante. The ad that launched that year became an instant classic. Rahul Dravid, known for his calm demeanor and gentlemanly behavior, was shown stuck in Bangalore traffic, losing it completely, screaming, breaking rearview mirrors, throwing coffee cups, yelling. Indiranagar ka Gunda hu main! The contrast between his real image and the ad version was so bizarre, so funny, that it became one of the most talked about campaigns of the year. Dravid trended for days. Even cricketers couldn't stop tweeting about it. CRED's marketing team didn't stop there. They built campaign after campaign that combined nostalgia with premium storytelling. Jackie Shroff with his Tapori charm, Kumar Sanu lending his voice to absurd jingles, Jim Sharp explaining credit scores like a smooth professor. But then they took it a step further. They bridged nostalgia with pop culture using India's beloved comic book characters, Chacha Chaudhary and Supandi. Imagine seeing Supandi, a childhood favorite known for his hilarious foolishness, explain how credit card bills could earn you rewards. Or Chacha Chaudhary, the brain quicker than a computer, partnering with CRED to talk about financial discipline. These weren't just ads, they were cultural moments. Each one sparked Twitter conversations, meme storms, and YouTube reaction videos. CRED had managed to blend brand storytelling with performance marketing in a way rarely seen in Indian advertising. But behind all the quirk and color was a precise, data-driven engine. CRED's demand generation strategy was as polished as its UI. On the surface, it looked like pure brand marketing. But every ad was backed by a full-funnel performance system, viral top-funnel awareness through IPL and YouTube Short, retargeting through sleek social creatives, deep integration with influencers who didn't just promote, but embedded CRED into their content, premium onboarding flows that reduced friction, reward loops to keep you coming back. It was the perfect marriage of brand and demand. And as the user base grew, so did the product stack. CRED Pay allowed you to check out from partner merchants using UPI while earning rewards. CRED Cash offered pre-approved credit lines to trustworthy users. Rent Pay let users pay landlords using their credit cards, earning points while managing liquidity. Then came CRED Store, a curated marketplace of premium goods. And finally, CRED Mint, peer-to-peer lending reimagined for responsible users. What tied all of this together was trust. Unlike other apps that acquired users and then tried to sell them stuff, CRED filtered users first, then built services around them. That trust foundation meant higher engagement, lower default risk, and better monetization. Investors took notice. Sequoia, Tiger Global, SoftBank, over $800 million in funding poured in. CRED wasn't just a unicorn, it was a brand compounder. Even the acquisitions reflected this strategy. CRED didn't buy companies for user growth, it bought brainpower. Happay for corporate expense automation, CreditVidya to build alternate credit scoring models, Kuvera for wealth management. Each acquisition added depth to the CRED ecosystem without diluting its brand soul. Of course, there was criticism. People mocked the app for being too fancy, too aesthetic. They questioned its revenue. They called it a valuation bubble. But in 2024, those critics are quiet. CRED is generating over rupees 1,400 crores in revenue, with 16 million users, and a $6.4 billion valuation. But the numbers are not the full story. CRED is not just a fintech product. It is a cultural symbol, a case study in how brand, design, community, and performance marketing can coexist. It rewards you not just for spending, but for being responsible, for being smart, for being early. In a world chasing the next viral trick, CRED built something timeless. A club, a code, a quiet revolution in how India experiences finance. And that's why it matters. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories from the world of business, strategy, and innovation. Until next time, stay curious.